This is, in order, the last preview that we will do. And it is because the Stanley Cup champions, Florida Panthers.
They deserve it.
They deserve it. We saved the best for last. This is a team that's good in the regular season. This is a team that's better in the playoffs.
Yeah.
This is a team that when they won the league the first time, the President's Trophy, everybody was like, yeah,
Dude, the
okay.
number one knock against them heading into this season is that they've been to the finals twice. Do you understand how good that is?
Yeah.
They're the number one reason why they might not be as good is because they've been too good previously.
They've been playing too many games because they've been too good. Yeah. That's really funny.
Their finishes in the division over the last 3 years are first, obviously, when they won the President's Trophy, fourth, and then first again. So is this the year they finished fourth again? No, I'm kidding. What do we start with the Florida Panthers? I say we go back to the old faithful, and that's their offense. These guys are masters of defense. They're masters of getting in your shit after the whistle, and they also score buckets of goals.
It is virtually the same offense, except a reconstructed fourth line.
Sorry.
Oh, can I read off a list for you?
Yeah, give it to me.
Brandon Montour, Vladimir Tarasenko, Oliver Ekman-Larsson, Anthony Stollers, Nick Cousins, Kyle Okposo, Kevin Stunlin, Casey Fitzgerald, Steven Lorentz, Josh Muhara. Those are all the players who are no longer on this year's team that were on last year's team.
So that's relevant. Let's do that again. Let's do that list again, and I'm going to cut you off.
Okay, fun. Brandon Montour,
Very important right-handed defenseman for that team. That's a big loss.
Vladimir Tarasenko,
Hired gun, but good player.
Seattle, Detroit, OEL, Toronto.
Depth defenseman was underratedly good for them.
He was very good in those playoffs.
Yeah, he was.
Anthony Stollers
Extremely good backup goalie.
led the league in save percentage.
Yes.
Nick Cousins.
Didn't play a whole ton of that playoffs.
No. Kyle Okposo.
Didn't play a whole ton of that playoffs.
Finally got his
he
cup,
was
though.
finally in there, and he won his cup. But
Nick Cousins was a pretty important regular season piece.
Yes, he was.
If I'm not mistaken.
yeah, and then they got better when they got rid of him.
You got to get to the playoffs, though.
Yeah.
I think he was
yes.
important.
Yeah,
honestly.
you're right. You're right.
Kevin Stenlund.
Underrated loss. Very underrated loss. He's going to be good for Utah. He's on
Yes, Utah.
Yep.
Yes. Casey, he tripped Macklin Celebrini.
Oh, that's right.
Adam wanted
I had
his,
a real issue with
he
that.
wanted
Kevin
his family dead.
Screw you, Kevin Stenlund.
Wow.
Casey Fitzgerald.
I don't remember.
Couldn't
what
pick him out of a
position he
line.
plays.
He's a Ranger now.
Oh, there you go.
Okay.
Good for him. That sounds like a Ranger.
Steven Lorentz.
Good fourth line player. Again, didn't even play all the games for them.
Josh Muhara.
Good depth defenseman, and I think he left out Ryan Lomberg, who
Ryan Lomberg,
another fourth liner, good fourth liner,
Good vibes guy.
Didn't even play all their games.
Yeah. I didn't have Ryan
Montour
Lomberg.
is a loss.
Yeah.
But
a
up
big loss.
front, when we were
That's all. I'm just saying that's a big list of names.
It's a big list of names, but there's a lot of not everyday players and hired guns.
Yes.
Like
So-
Tarasenko, I don't think started the season with them last year,
No, he didn't.
and Okposo
No, because he got traded from the Senators.
was also
From
an
the Sabres.
acquisition.
Yeah. So Verhaeghe, Barkov, Reinhart.
Goofy.
And by the way, that fucking Reinhart extension. Just
Just stick a fork
stop
in me.
it. Evan Rodriguez, Sam Bennett, Matthew Tkachuk.
Real
Evan
good.
Rodriguez, who could have been a Leaf, but they just wouldn't qualify him because they were $250,000 apart.
Unreal Stanley Cup final and fits that team like a glove.
Luosterainen, Lindell, and Samoskevich.
Really, Moskovich.
Oh, Samoskevich?
What is that?
Let me see.
Samoskevich. Aha.
Oh, maybe you're right.
I am right.
So you know what? I'm confusing him with someone who used to play in the Steelheads when I was there. Anyway, sorry.
Luosterainen, Lindell, Samoskevich. And then AJ Greer. This is the rebuilt fourth line. AJ Greer.
He was a big, mean Bruin.
Okay.
What?
No.
No, he's at it. He's at
I'm
it.
mad because, great. We need a Bruin on the Panthers.
Oh,
Fantastic.
I thought you were like Steve. What?
No. Patrick Gillies
I also
or
thought
Giles.
Okay.
And Jesper Boquist.
Jesper Boquist is so that's annoying. That's annoying.
It's
Two
annoying,
of
right?
those three ads are very annoying.
That's a good. That's not
The
bad.
top six is the best one of the best top sixes in the whole league.
Yes.
Yes.
Like, I could very easily argue it's the best top six in the whole league just because they just won the Stanley Cup, and that's coming back, and that's the key to this team. So I'm not too worried that you got to rebuild the fourth line, even though fourth lines are very important come end of regular season playoff time. Like, that's a lot of strong Stanley Cup teams have great fourth lines, but the top six is what matters. It's still there. They're going to be good.
And Bill Zito will make moves. Like,
Yeah.
if it turns out they need these guys or they need to, they'll do it.
Yeah.
Okay, we know that because he's done it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So then on defense,
On D.
Forsling with that bloody extension. Still I'm mad about that. Aaron Ekblad, Nico Mikkola,
Yep.
valuable in the playoffs. Kulikov, valuable in the playoffs. And then they added Nate Schmidt,
Yep.
who's been a bit of a journeyman, but still has the wheels.
He's not who he was in Vegas.
Right.
Like, when he went to Winnipeg, we saw a bit of a drop off there in skill.
Bit past his best.
And then Adam Boquist, who is a underrated player from the. Honestly, they were the atrocious Columbus Blue Jackets and kind of got buried there.
I'm excited to see what the Panthers do with him and also Nate Schmidt. Like, Boquist has the chance to be the redemption story that Forsling was, and Schmidt has a chance to be the redemption story that OEL was.
Yes.
If that makes sense.
It's so hard to judge the Panthers because of that exact thing. Like, Forsling was on waivers, and they've turned him into a number one defenseman on a Stanley Cup winning team.
We would probably look at that the year he joined the Panthers and be like, oh, who gives a damn?
Exactly.
Yes.
So you look at those additions and we're like, Nate Schmidt, he's gone a couple places now since his heyday. Who knows what he's going to be? But he's also now in this Florida system and around a bunch of good players, and he can be something. He can be a next level, what he used to be, or something else. You know?
Yep. Also worth mentioning, depth forward who is currently injured, Thomas Nosek is from New
Former
Jersey.
Bruin.
Florida former Bruin, former Devil. So this is the thing. You said it at the beginning. The biggest knock is that they've played too many games. Doesn't seem like it's a knock. And it seems like this team feels like we should have got it done in year one. We definitely got it done in year two. We want another one.
Yes, you are leaving out something very important.
What?
So Sergei Bobrovsky was incredible last year. Sergei Bobrovsky's had a number of injuries throughout his career, but they were able to rely on how good Anthony Stolarz was last year. And part of the reason Anthony Stolarz got the opportunity that he got is Spencer Knight, who was supposed to be the goalie of the future, was not playing games with the NHL team.
Right.
This year, Knight is going to be behind Bobrovsky. And the standard that he has to live up to is Stolarz was the best backup goalie in the NHL. You might look at Allmark Swayman. No, it's a tandem. Stolarz was a pure backup goalie, and he was at like a 930.
And Stolarz played 20, I believe he started 24, 25 games, played in 27. Spencer Knight played 21 games last year. So it's you would expect that Spencer Knight's going to be 30, 35 games.
He didn't. No. Didn't he not play last year?
Oh, yeah, sorry, he didn't play last year. I'm wrong.
You're looking at the
I'm looking at the wrong one.
Spencer Knight didn't play a single game for the Florida Panthers last year,
right.
which is something I was going to bring up because
Sorry, noted idiot Adam Wylde.
No, I think it's fascinating that now
we took him for granted.
Yeah.
Right. He was supposed to be this star goal that had taken 13th overall goaltenders and never taken that high, and he's going to be the heir apparent to Bobrovsky one day, and it hasn't really panned out for a number of different reasons. And last year, here's your AHL tandem goalie, and now he's the NHL backup, filling in, for your point, the save percentage leader last year.
What were his numbers in the A?
905 save percentage in 45 games.
I mean, it's the A, so it's not apples to apples.
No.
But, like, for reference, Devin Levi was like a 927.
Yeah. But I also think if we're going from a storyline standpoint, somebody's got something to prove. And it's Spencer Knight. It's I should have been that back. He doesn't have his name on the cup. He doesn't have a cup ring.
That's
They didn't even put his name on the cup.
No, he wasn't with how?
Oh, yeah, you're right.
He wasn't with the Florida Panthers.
You're
How
totally
how is
right.
his name gonna get on the cup? You know? Maybe I'll double check that, but doesn't
But
make
even
sense.
so, do you think that he feels like he won the cup?
It doesn't make sense for him to get even a ring, you know?
Marc-Andre Fleury on our podcast
Yeah.
with Alan said, he said it was nice to win the other two cups, But obviously, my favorite cup is 2009 because he was the backup.
I think his words were, "It was a little different."
Yes.
Which you can take a lot from.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's the most positive guy in the game. These guys are competitive.
Yeah.
He wants to be on the ice. So, yeah, redemption.
There's
season for
something
Spencer
to
Knight.
prove there for Spencer Knight. So he either is going to step up and fill those shoes, or we're going to see him falter a little, and they're going to have to make a move.
Biggest X factor on the team,
Yeah.
bar none.
Yeah.
So, the Florida Panthers, they had 125 points. They had
Really?
Jeez.
not last year, a couple of years ago.
What was
then
last year?
then they went down to last year was like hold on. Let me go back. Let me go back.
No. Take your time.
21-22.
Yeah.
They had 122 points.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a lot.
Then last year,
Yeah.
they had 2 years ago they had 92 points.
Okay.
And then
Yeah.
last year 110 points.
Ah.
The over-under for the Florida Panthers this year is one of the highest we've seen, 102.5.
All right.
You know what?
Do it.
Let's make it an even 20. Over.
Yeah.
Over.
And where do you have them finishing, Steven?
First in the Atlantic.
Wow.
For some teams, you take a leap of faith, and Jesse took the Bruins really high. I had my reservations and I was kind of looking at the Atlantic that I don't think has any bad teams, and I'm like, why not just take the team that's consistently been the best,
Yeah.
and put them number one? So that's why I have the Panthers first
You didn't overthink it. Jesse.
for once.
Yeah, if anybody hasn't watched all of the previews, Steve says over for almost every team. So that's what he's talking about there. It's fantastic stuff. I'm going to take the over here. I'm going to go the Steve Dangle route and take the over and say second in the division.
Hey, Jesse, can we supercut all of Steve's overs?
That's all, Hayden, that's a lot of editing.
Over.
But
Hayden's on
yeah,
it?
that's
all right. Great.
It might take you a little bit.
And I am going to take the Florida Panthers absolutely at an over, and they're second place. I think that this team doesn't care about winning the division because they're going to burn through anybody else that they're going to play in the first round anyway. I wouldn't be shocked to see them have a slow start. Florida Panthers are an unbelievable hockey team, and they're going to continue to be. That is your Florida Panthers recap from us, the SDP.